What's going on, everybody? It is time to really calmly dissect this Micah Parsons trade to the Green Bay Packers. Now that everyone has had a day to kind of breathe, read through everything, hear everything, and understand what in the world just happened. So, again, we know Micah Parsons is not a Dallas Cowboy anymore. He has been traded to the Green Bay Packers for 2 first-round picks. One of them is in 2026, so next year's first. The other for 2027, along with defensive tackle Kenny Clark. Now, Kenny Clark did not have a great year last year. Yes, he is a multiple-time Pro Bowler, but I looked through some stats. This guy had 1 sack last year. He didn't have the best year of his career, of course, and is 29 years old. So you could say that he is exiting his prime. I anticipate he'll be better than last year. Sometimes guys maybe have a down year here and there. I'm not going to just assume that his peak is over, but I definitely don't think that he is in the prime of his career, and he is, if anything, a serviceable defensive tackle who will help Dallas stop the run game, but that doesn't erase the fact that they traded away arguably the best pass rusher in the NFL in Micah Parsons. So Parsons has been elite. Parsons has, this guy has had double-digit sacks for each of his 4 seasons, including his rookie year. He is just all over the field. And this is what you're losing. So you are trading this away because you didn't want to pay him $47 million, which, you know what? Listen, I kind of get it. I understand not wanting to pay him $47 million a year. Makes sense to me if you are paying Dak Prescott, elite money as the highest paid quarterback in the league. You paid CeeDee Lamb. So, all right, if you don't want to pay Micah Parsons, I think he's arguably the best player on your team. So maybe I think you should have paid him instead of paying Dak. But if that's your argument, we don't want to pay him, makes sense. Again, I'll just reiterate this. My issue with the Cowboys and the way they did this is how you negotiated this deal and how you traded him away. Now, Jerry Jones, I watched this press conference. He kept acting. You ain't going to fool me, Jerry. Kept acting like it's almost like their reasoning for the trade was to get Kenny Clark because he's going to stop the run. And I just told you guys, Kenny Clark is not what you could say. It's not what he used to be. So acting like we're getting an elite defensive tackle is just not true. And ultimately, losing that edge rusher and Micah Parsons. Now, yes, you may have depth in the pass rush, in defensive ends and linebackers on your team, but that's still not Micah Parsons. And that's the biggest issue. The first round picks are nice to have, but the first round picks, like a lot of people now have come around to notice, are probably late first round picks. And that's great. That's good value. But ultimately, that's not the value you want for a player like Micah Parsons. And so, again, what I take issue with is what you got back for the deal, not even trading Micah Parsons. If you want to trade Micah Parsons, that's fine. I said this when the other Dallas team, the Mavericks, traded away Luka Doncic. If you want to trade Luka, okay, I get it. That's fine. You don't believe in him? That's fine. I believe in him, but if you don't, I get it. But you should have done the deal right. And this just wasn't done right. You could have gotten more, in my opinion, for, arguably the best player in the league. Now, maybe Green Bay wasn't willing to give up more because they were saying, you know what, we're going to have to pay him. So that is a negative for us because we don't want to have to pay him $47 million. And maybe that's why that's all they were able to fetch. That part I am not sure of. But I do still think that this deal would have been on the table a month from now or 2 months from now. And that was my issue. This is not the time. This was not the time to make this trade when you are anticipating Green Bay being a good team. And who knows, maybe, if teams have injuries, they get desperate, and maybe they are willing to offer you more than what Dallas offered you up. You had no reason to do it right now. And I will say this about Jerry Jones. I actually think that Jerry Jones has in his mind a belief, which is old school, understood. And I'm not blaming Micah Parsons. Like, you're a player and you want to do it this way, do it this way. If you want to sit out, by all means sit out, but don't expect a check he did what he had to do, and that's fine. Ultimately, he's the biggest winner in all of this because he got paid big money. And in my opinion, I shouldn't say it this way, but in my opinion, he did it the sleazy way, but the sleazy way works in professional sports. So I don't think he's sleazy for doing it, if that makes sense. He was still under contract for this year. So in my opinion, you're still supposed to show up to work when you gave your word, essentially on paper too, on a contract, your promise that you would work this year. And not showing up to me is just not the right way to do it, but this is where the league has gone. This is where sports has gone. So I'm not blaming him. This is kind of how players have taken leverage, and no one has really pushed back. So why not take it? I get that part. But I do believe that if Micah Parsons would have played this year out on his, fifth year and on the rookie deal, his perspective is if I get hurt, I might not get as good of an offer. All I'm saying is I think Jerry Jones is the type that would say, I want to just know that you are loyal to this team. And if you showed up and even if you got hurt, we would still pay you because that's what they did with Dak Prescott. And so it makes me think that that's actually how he functions. Again, I'm not saying that that's the way it works in 2025. I'm just saying I don't think Jerry Jones was trying to be sleazy with Micah Parsons by saying like, nope, you need to play this year out. And then if he got hurt and took that chance, that Jerry would then screw him over and lowball him with like a $35 million contract offer or something. I don't think he would have done that because, again, if you all remember, Dak Prescott had a very gruesome ankle injury and entering a contract year. And they gave him the franchise tag, and then they made him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He's still the highest paid quarterback in the NFL today. It's been like 3 years. All right, 2 years. But still, that's pretty wild. So again, at the end of the day, listen, I'm Team Mike on that. You in this day and age, you want it on paper and you want it for sure. So I don't blame him, but I do essentially blame the system that sports has gone to, where now we kind of just mail it in because we don't have a promise for later. I don't like that attitude, and I just think it's wrong. And it's not on the principle, and I'm a principle type of person. Like that's the principle. So again, this trade ultimately is a win for Green Bay. I think Green Bay wins the trade, but I do think that just because you get a good deal doesn't mean it's the right deal for you. And I don't know that it's the right deal for Green Bay to make, in the sense that I don't know that this makes them Super Bowl contenders. I don't believe in it. I'm looking at the depth chart. I mean, if you got Josh Jacobs as your running back one, Emmanuel Wilson. I'm sorry, but the tandem of what Minnesota has going on with Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones, I think is better. Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, is better than all of those guys. So Detroit's got that. I think the Packers don't have the best quarterback in that division. I would take Jared Goff over Jordan Love. Wide receivers, you got Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, Romeo Doubs. Those are your 1, 2, 3. I mean, Doubs apparently was possibly going to get traded. So I would much rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Detroit receiving corps. I would rather have Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen now and Jordan Addison. Tight ends, Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave. Yeah, I mean, I would rather have Sam Laporta for sure, TJ Hawkinson for sure, probably the Bears tight ends as well. Offensive line, they got good players here and there, but they don't have this insane depth or, A-level players. They're only level 8. You have an A-plus level player now in Micah Parsons, but name another one. So I'm not jumping onto this bandwagon as much as people are with the Green Bay Packers. Do I think they're going to be good? Absolutely, because they have a good, solid team. But when you're going all in, like with what you're paying Micah Parsons, that's your team. It's Micah Parsons, it's Jordan Love, and if you want to keep any of these young guys, I mean, you're going to have to start paying them, and I just don't think that's enough. I'll tell you a guy that I think is a stud for them that they're going to have to pay soon is Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker, and that guy is great. Let's see his numbers, but he was great last year. I remember just watching him being like surprised that this guy was a good player. All right, let's see where's this guy's stats from last year. Edgerrin Cooper, Texas A&M. Last year, 3.5 sacks, 87 total tackles, 57 solo, a pick, I don't know what his PFF grade is, but he came on strong last year. And him and Micah Parsons are gonna, be a great tandem. But that's your team. So again, not every good deal is the right deal for you. If you're into real estate and there's $1 million property and you're able to get it for 500,000, that's amazing. And you should definitely get it. So I'm not criticizing the Packers, but is it sustainable? Maybe not. You might have to sell it right away. So you might not be able to keep up with that payment. And in this case, I don't know that the Packers are going to be in the Super Bowl and be able to keep up with the Eagles, with the Buffalo Bills, with the Kansas City Chiefs when you're essentially, counting only on Micah Parsons and Jordan Love. So again, if Matthew Golden becomes a Justin Jefferson or a CeeDee Lamb, now we're talking. Now I think you got 3 premier players, and here it goes. But we'll see. It's his rookie year. So we'll see how this all works out for them. I will try to be back tomorrow with a breakdown of the NFC North. I will give my prediction of where I think these teams will fall. And I'm sorry for you Dallas Cowboys fans, man. I'm not even blaming the trade. I'm blaming the way it was executed, the timing of the trade, and all that. If you want to get rid of Micah Parsons, you want to move in a different direction, that's fine. But you shouldn't have done it now. If anything, at this point, you should have waited. So, sorry, Dallas Cowboys fans. Good luck. Feel better. At least it's a long weekend, and we're officially less than a week away from the start of football. College football starts tomorrow, so things are good. Here we go. Football, finally.